Hi, welcome to the TOSH Pilates video library. My name is Mary. For 5 weeks, we have been focusing on the 5 basic principles of Pilates. They are essential for firing correct muscles during every exercise. And by doing so in the most efficient way that helps you prevent injury during exercise. Today will be the second of 2 videos focusing and learning about head and cervical placement. The first thing I'm going to do is educate you on this basic principle. And then the second thing is we're going to move forward and do some exercises so we can feel the principles. Then we're going to finish up by applying the principle to some exercises that you might already be familiar with. So let's begin. Head and cervical placement. Where that head begins and in your neutral should be placed over the shoulders and balancing, whether standing or seated. Now, when we begin with flexion, extension, rotation, or side flexion, your cervical spine should follow the line oftentimes of your thoracic line. So when we are, especially in that flexion or extension, we don't want to be jamming our chin down into our chest. We want to keep about the size of a small fist between our chin and our chest as we begin that flexion, and then let our cervical follow the line of our thoracic. That's the same for an extension. And we'll be going over and practicing all of these, but you're going to be lifting gently. We don't want to ever jam the head forward or back, but again, we follow the line of our thoracic spine. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things we want to remember is because of phones these days, computers and driving, that we have a lot of hyperextension occurring where our head is in front of our shoulders. Again, remember that neutral is the head is balancing above the shoulders. That being the case, to avoid that hyperextension while laying down or in a moment as we do some exercises on our stomach in prone, we use a pad, or you can also use a pillow, to elevate the head and to keep from that overextension. Now let's go ahead, we're going to lie on our backs, legs are bent, and we're going to practice the initiation of flexion exercises. We call these head nods. Oftentimes, when we begin doing sit-ups, for example, we will either hyperextend and cause that strain in our neck, looking up at the ceiling, or we will jam the head down and hyperflex the head forward. Now we want to find that in between, right? It's always about that balance in that center. So to initiate that movement in flexion, we're going to do some head nods. Your eye gaze should be directly above you, and you're going to take a deep inhale. On that exhale, you're going to gently head nod, drawing the chin down just a little bit, lengthening the back of the neck, and then inhale back directly up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let your eye gaze travel down a few feet to the ceiling, and then inhale, lift it back up. It's a very small movement, but you want to really think of that head just gently rocking on the top of your spine, and then inhale, back up. Exhale, it should feel good to just lengthen the back of the neck. Again, with my turtleneck, it helps to give me a little bit of feedback that I'm not jamming my chin into that turtleneck. You want to keep that, again, a small fist or like a mandarin orange between your chin and your chest. Good. Now, we're going to continue to move from there. We're going to move into what we call ab prep, which is the beginning of that flexion for what you would likely connect with is a sit-up. So I'm going to keep my hands at my side, palms down, and I'm going to start with that head nod. I'm going to take a nice inhale, Exhale, I'm going to draw and lengthen the back of my neck. And then thinking one vertebra at a time, I'm going to peel the back of my head up and pull forward from below my ribs into that flexed position. My eye gaze should be at about the top of my knees, and then I'm going to come down. So in this movement, we also want to think of stabilizing our shoulder blades. So we're going to inhale, chin nod, engage and feel those shoulder blades stable. And as we exhale, we draw that chin down, using them and firing from our bellies as we roll up. So I'm going to just show two wrong examples. As you inhale, prepare, exhale, we come up. Can you tell that this is very uncomfortable on my neck? We're not doing that starting with that chin nod, right? We're going directly up. And other bad example, you can tell from there, I am jamming and I don't have space for any mandarin orange between my chin and my chest. So let's just do a couple of more correct ones. Again, always start lengthening the back of the neck. And we exhale, peeling one vertebra at a time off. Noticing that my cervical spine is similar to my thoracic in the flexion. Inhale back down. Last one. Lengthen and peel. And just as we peel up, we also peel down. So one vertebra at a time, coming back down, and then we lengthen in the back of the neck. Good. Okay, now we are going to same idea, working, finding our and understanding our neutral, but we're going to flip over onto our bellies into what I call breaststroke prep. So you're going to take that pad, and again, just as we were talking about before, if you have that hyperextension, it's going to feel very uncomfortable in your neck to come forward. So you can always use a pad to place underneath your forehead, like so. That way, your neck and head are not in hyperextension. So, in this position, we are going to do a little breaststroke prep, which means we're going to do some extension. Now, in this situation, I'm going to kind of rotate so you can still hear me. You want to think of first, again, rather than lengthening the back of the neck, we want to just think of now lengthening the front of the neck, gently lifting the chin up and following that line with the thoracic. So we'll begin. Finding your neutral pelvis first. We then take a nice inhale. Exhale. You first begin thinking of gently lifting the chin, and then from there begin following from the top of the spine down towards the center of your thoracic. As you look forward, you'll notice that you're not torquing and jamming the head back, nor am I looking directly down at the floor. But my gaze has just moved forward about a foot. And then we draw the chin down, one vertebra at a time. Again, take a nice inhale. Exhale. Chin, gentle lift. And we follow that extension into the thoracic, drawing the thoracic down one vertebra at a time, and chin back down. So the muscles you should be feeling are in that upper back and in that belly to make sure that you are moving and working correctly. Good. All right, now from here, we're going to come into a little bit more of an extension. So more towards that swan. Again, we want to think of everything initiates from that chin lift. So, holding that prone position, take a nice inhale. Exhale, gently lift the chin up. Begin peeling that vertebra up one at a time. Exhale. Pushing gently into your hands, feeling the muscles in your upper back engaging. And then again, coming down one vertebra at a time. Let's do 2 more. As you lift the chin up, press into the hands, peel the spine off, staying out of that lower back. And then again, melting that vertebra into the mat, drawing the chin back into neutral. And last one. Begin initiation with a gentle chin lift. Press into those hands. Open the chest. Good. And all the way back down. Beautiful. All right, we're going to press off and come into a little bit, come to sitting. We're going to do some mermaid so that we can recognize where the head, how the head and cervical spine follow the thoracic. So again, starting in neutral, trying to draw the chin back and placing the head directly over the shoulders. Now we're going to place our left hand down. Take a nice inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're going to again begin with a gentle nod, ear drawing towards the shoulder, and then following that with the thoracic spine into a nice little flexion, and then back up. Good. Let's go ahead. We're going to do 2 more. I'm going to show bad examples right here. One thing we don't want to see is that the head comes forward out of neutral, away from the shoulders, and that we do almost like a forward flexion, hyperextending in that neck. We'd want to, again, keep that head over your head, neck, and shoulders. Gentle nod to the side. Again, we're not jamming the ear into the shoulder, but just a gentle flexion, one that the thoracic spine can follow. Same line. Good. And now let's do the other side. Inhale, reach that arm up. Exhale, gentle side nod, keeping the head over the shoulders into that flexion. Good. Inhale, exhale. Again, we're not pushing that head down. We're allowing a nice side flexion throughout the spine. And one more. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Good. All right. Thank you for joining me to understand a little bit about head and cervical placement. By doing these things, by not jamming your chin down into your chest, or by keeping it extended, by starting with your head in a neutral and not hyperextended, and by keeping it over your shoulders, you will find such a greater release out of your head, neck, and shoulders, and you'll be able to activate more efficiently into that core. I encourage you to continue watching these videos and rewatch them. They are so helpful in helping us be pain-free in all of our movement. Thank you again for joining.